Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Welcome to Climb to Grandmaster. So this is the second POV commentary you're getting. The next video, Climb to Grandmaster, is back to kind of normal live commentaries, which by the way was in this same recording session, I believe. But yeah, this was the same recording session that we were in that master promo. We lost that promo and I wanted to get back into it. Now, where we leave you off, that sounded weird, is we lost a game in between the Veigar game you saw and this game, but we had an AFK. So we had a rage quit a Mumu, I think it was. Again, that's why you're like, well, where's that game, Huz? Yeah, we had a rage quitter. So, and the hilarious thing, and it was actually a bit of a lesson that I can just teach you guys at the beginning of this game, is obviously my team, after having a rage quitter, wanted to stop playing, so they asked for a surrender vote. I said no to that surrender vote, and some people even in Twitch chat were like, why are you saying no? So because the guy rage quit and my team did a surrender vote maybe like 2 minutes or a minute after he left, the game had yet to detect he was AFK. So there was no LP mitigation because he rage quit the game. Obviously nowadays, if you have a rage quit and the game detects that, you will lose less LP if you lose the game. So I said no, and obviously because Amumu was AFK, it was, you know, 3 people said yes, but then technically 2 people are saying no, me and the Amumu who's not in the match. Literally while that was happening, if I clicked yes straight away and the surrender vote happened, during that surrender vote, it had the, hey, you've got an AFK player. If you surrender, you'll lose less LP. But it would not have counted for that FF vote. You have to wait until that message comes up in chat, then do a fresh FF vote. So instead of losing 17 LP for that loss that we were probably going to, we only lost 12. So that, again, sucked. Again, I still, you know, play what you want. If you enjoy a champion, as I've said, you know, go for it. But playing Amumu in Diamond 1 at Master MMR is really tough. Like, that champion just gets beat pretty much by every single thing that's meta in the jungle right now. In everything. Ganks, pressure, farming, scaling. Like, it's not a great pick. And I think that's what happened to that Amumu. He wasn't having a great time. He realized he wasn't having a great time. I don't think this wasn't the one-trick Amumu that we've seen a few times in Master MMR. This was just a guy playing Amumu for some reason, and yeah, it didn't go well, so he left the game. So we're now in this one. So playing Veigar again. Obviously, again, sorry for uploading the same champion in a row. Again, mentally, it wasn't for me. Like, sometimes, you know, I try my best to think about that. I literally, if you ever come and catch my stream, you will literally hear me in Champ Select quite often say, this game's good for Anivia or good for Veigar, but I don't want to play it because I've just played one of those games and I don't want to do that for the YouTube channel. And I know, for like, let me know what you guys think. Like, do you care about me uploading the same thing twice? That's actually potentially the question of this video, is I'd actually like to collect feedback for that. But I actively try to not do that. But when a game, you know, mentally, I'm not playing pretty much ever the same champion back to back to back. Even the Nautilus, when we uploaded 3 Nautilus videos in a row a couple days ago, those are not me playing 3 Nautilus games in a row. There would have probably been at least 1, maybe 2 games in between me playing Nautilus. Like, I'm pretty sure in between one of those Nautilus games, there was a Lulu game there that we did also win, but I just chose not to upload it. Even though, again, that game was actually pretty good. It was just too easy in some ways. But yeah, like, that's the thing, is I'm not playing the champions 3 or 4 times in a row. You know, I'm not. I can't really do that to myself. Again, people... I remember when, before we got mastered the first time this year, a lot of people were going, Huz, just spam Anivia for 1 day and you'll probably get master. It's hard for me to do that. Like, it genuinely is. And it's not even, you know, people know I'm not a massive fan of one-tricking. It's not even, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't get one-tricking. Like, that's the biggest part, because I get so bored. Like, again, video games to me are supposed to be fun, and I get bored if I'm playing the same champion in a row. I used to have to play basically a different champion every single game in a stream session. Literally, like, I'd literally have to play a different champion and never the same champion twice in one day. I've improved with that. Like, I can play 2 games of Veigar in one stream or 3 games of Nautilus in one stream. I can do that now. I just typically can't really play the same champion back to back. I do it occasionally. And guess what? I'm bored out of my mind in game 2. Like, that's the problem. Anyway, big play happening in top lane. They get themselves a double kill on Jarvan. And I was actually pointing out, if you missed it in the champ select, so in this stream today, we actually did have a conversation about one tricks and stuff like that, because from memory, it stemmed from the promo game that we lost, the 5th game that obviously I didn't upload, where we had the 1-9 Ezreal. The conversation stemmed from the fact that he was a one trick, not on his one trick. That Ezreal was a Twitch one trick. It got banned. Therefore, the guy, again, if you're pretty much a one trick, you're very reliant, obviously, on one thing. He then went 1-9 on Ezreal and just proceeded to feed like crazy. It was literally like you could probably have sworn like the guy had never played it before, right? Meanwhile, unfortunately, my top lane, they did a good double kill, and then they really overstayed in the entire situation, and they obviously ended up dead. Unfortunately, a bit of overstay there. But yeah, so what I would say is the conversation stemmed about one tricks about that. And at the beginning of this video, the reason why I bring it up, in the Professor data, again, link down below if you want to have that data in your own games, we saw the difference in top lane, if you paid attention to that. The Aatrox had 20, I believe it was 22 games of the champion, but he had a good win rate. He was decent at the champion, but only 22 games of the champion. That is not many. The Jax had over 600 games of Jax and is a pure one trick. Who should win that? You know, mentally, I don't know if, you know, everybody's in the same ballpark as I am, but to me, a one trick who only plays that one thing 600 games, more than 600 games, should be better than a guy that's only played 20 games, right? And that's why I always get so confused of, like, it's understandable in some ways that, oh, the Ezreal, who was a Twitch one trick, he went 1-9 because he's only good at one thing. He didn't play it, got banned. Therefore, he went 1-9 on Ezreal. Okay, that's understandable because they're not on their one trick, right? Partially. What isn't understandable to me, and again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What isn't understandable is when you see a one trick and they look clueless at the champion, even after, you know, 600 games in Master MMR. The Jax right now is Master 600 games. I think the Aatrox is also Master. I think he was like 30 or 40 LP. But again, not an Aatrox player. Let me know what you guys think. Like, do you ever look at a one trick and kind of go, they should be good? I have also heard a potential thing, and again, maybe it changes depending what rank you're in. Because I remember hearing somebody, I think it was through my stream, and I've heard it in other places as well, of if you're in an average rank, so if you're a silver or a gold player, and you see a one trick on the enemy team, you're actively really not scared of that player. And that might sound weird to some people, but why? Why would you actively really not be scared about a one trick in gold or silver? Because they're in the same rank as you, but they only play one thing, so they can't actually be that good. Because if they were good at that one thing, they'd be way higher rating, right? I've heard that opinion a few times, and I will say I think that's actually a relatively interesting opinion. You know, again, if you see somebody in gold with 3 million mastery points on the champion, well, again, clearly they can't be that good at the champion if they're only in gold with 3 million mastery points. My highest mastery champion is now Nivea, and I think I have about 120,000 mastery points on the champion. That's all. So, yeah. Meanwhile, look at this. Amazing team play by the Xayah. She got a kill. She deserved the double kill, let's be honest. But she saw that I was roaming. I was coming to help. You know, I'm little Veigar. You know, I'm not really supposed to roam, I would say, in the early game, but little old Veigar making his way downtown, and she's like, oh, you know what? I'll give you a kill. It's really nice. Again, I'm a hyper carry, so it's not a negative thing to do. Meanwhile, trying to get this Corki. Unfortunately, I was thinking about Flash QR, and it might have killed that Corki, but I got minion blocked. I know he would have had Flash as well, but in that split second, if you can just get those two abilities off, he potentially was dead. And I got minion blocked a bit too much to even go for the Flash. So one thing, I get another conversation that we had in this video. Meanwhile, tried to get over to Jarvan. I landed cage, but nothing major of it right now. I do get the kill on Diana, which gives me blue buff. Not sure why the Jarvan is so salty about the Renata. Again, I think at this point, I was talking a little bit more than I was in the previous Veigar game, but still not commentating. Again, I do talk and actively I'm like, you know, I'm going to upload the video as a natural commentary next game. But yeah, I basically said the difference between Yuumi and Renata. The difference is Yuumi, and you'll see it throughout this game, one of the big reasons I think everyone hates that champion is she will just straight up troll her own AD carry and leave the AD carry. She's done it already this game. She has literally abandoned the Lucian, who by the way needs to win lane phase. She's abandoned the Lucian to now be permanently on the Diana. The Renata doesn't do that. Like, no other support does that. So the Jarvan spam pinging the difference of like going, oh, look at the support difference. There's Yuumi's with the Diana. Obviously, yes. Like, that's not... Obviously, the Jarvan might just be a bit tilted. But the Yuumi, as you can see, coming in for another gank. The Yuumi is just permanently on Diana. It's, again, I've said for ages. I've probably even uploaded videos recently. I don't rate Yuumi players. I never will. Ever. Because you don't have to care about your own positioning. You, again, can just leave your bot lane and you just power buff up a champion and it's really obnoxious. I think it is just such an unhealthy champion for League of Legends. The only players that I think are relatively okay with Yuumi, unsurprisingly, play Yuumi. Meanwhile, the Jarvan is definitely tilted at this point. He tried to go in, I think, at the end of that fight by himself when he's in a relatively weak state. And now, as you all know and seen, I did mute the Jarvan's pings. You're now seeing the Renata ping him, and they are definitely what we call in a ping war. So guarantee the Jarvan is actively still pinging the Renata, and now the Renata's pinging him. Okay, so here's, by the way, a little bit of deception. Pretending that I don't see him, and I do end up seeing him. He flashes, I get my combo off and get the kill. That is, again, the great pretending. Don't make it obvious. If I just ran straight for him, he would have known. He would have been like, ah, he's got vision. You'll notice if you go back and watch it if you wanted to again, I kind of serpentine a bit, like I'm pretending that I'm averagely laning and I'm just kind of, oh, making my way to go get farm. And then at the last split second when I'm in range of E, then I quickly go for him. That's just something that you should do. The amount of times that I even see people at this rank give away that they know that you have vision by that type of thing of like they just run straight at somebody, or I'm playing passive the whole lane phase. I'm suddenly going to play aggro. Why? Oh, my jungler's here. Meanwhile, the Jax, again, that's the type of thing. This Jax is now 0-3. The difference of top lane is astronomically huge. Again, that Jax engaging there, literally what that looked like was a Jax not knowing how much damage he does and how much damage he takes. And that, to me, is the really weird thing. I know how much damage Anivia does and how much she takes at any given point of the game. And I've only got 60 or 70 games of Anivia this season, not 600. And I play other champions, which when you play other champions, it kind of meshes with your brain a little bit, and then sometimes you can get a bit confused going, oh, like I did that much damage? Oh, damn, well, who was I thinking of? Oh, I was thinking of Veigar at this point at the time. Ah, my bad. But if you only play Jax, surely you should know how much damage you're dealing at any given point. Because that was just a really weird engage by the Jax. As you know, I think most of us would agree to that. That was weird. Anyway, mid lane, kind of similar in some ways to. Meanwhile, you know, again, unfortunately, Diana with Yuumi again. They just seem to be power ganking bot lane at this point. Renata nearly doing a really good ulti. I'm on my way though, gonna see what we can do. Land my cage, don't get the Lucian straight away. Kill the Diana. And now what you're about to see, everybody, is probably some of the worst play I've done this entire season. So I'm dodging things actively on the Lucian, and I'm just kind of like, I got this guy. I flash, I miss my cage, I miss my W, I miss my Q. Wait for it. He's gone. Yep. So that was a bad, you know, there's no other way to say. That was just really bad. I think, again, during the stream when I wasn't really talking much, I think I did start talking going, wow, I'm bad. Because, yeah, you know, we all have our bad moments. That Aatrox, by the way, has got 3,600 gold, by the way. Yeah, and that showing that, by the way, is embarrassing. You know, was I a bit embarrassed on stream with that play? 100% you bet ya. But I also kind of like that I'm showing it, and I also like that, you know, you guys are seeing it and the Twitch audience see it. Why? Because people even in this rank, you know, me as a player or whatever, you know, I'm an okay League of Legends player, you could say. Mistakes happen. You're not going to play perfectly. Like, the weird thing, and I do think it's increased, it's only increased in the last couple years of League of Legends. People expect perfection from themselves. Well, maybe less themselves, but people expect perfection from their teammates. I will say that, even I do. You know, we all get annoyed when a teammate does bad, and you get less annoyed when you do it yourself. That's the nature of humans in some ways. But yeah, so I like showing it because even, you know, a Master Diamond 1 player on EU West, I played that awfully. Like, it was bad. And that's okay, you know. I'm sure my teammates looking at me there would have reacted, you know, the same. If I saw that on my team, and this is what sometimes people say, if I saw that, and meanwhile, you know, I'm tilted out of my brain, I'm just running forward, and I actually bait the Diana to engage. To be honest, I didn't actually expect her to engage, and she did. She flashes away and everything. So that was fun. So Diana's dead, hilariously. You know, I literally didn't expect... she should have just run away, and she actually took the bait, and killed. It got killed. Anyway, Aatrox is about. We also know Lucian is about. End up round 2, ding ding fight. It's gonna happen again, guys. It's happened again. Again, I didn't want to go too close to him because I do think I was actually gonna die. He's now again squirming his way around. Zaya's not getting the kill. Wait for it, and I don't even get the kill. Jarvan's playing with his food. He's trying to give me the kill. He actually gives me the kill. I think I even said I don't deserve that kill. So what my goal, by the way, was for the rest of this game, obviously I've already killed Lucian in solo already, but he's for some reason become more annoying. My goal now was to kill him again solo and by myself and not muck it up. So we'll see if I actually succeed. So opening up with Everfrost to cause his flash, then opening up with Cage after, it means he can't really get away with Predator especially, and we end up getting that nice kill. So you buy one, you get one free. Diana on the way, block her with Cage that she can't get into the lane. And yeah, and one thing I did actually want to say at the beginning of this game, I'm not sure if anybody else, I mentally do it, even though Riot's come out and said it's not for that. For those that don't remember, or those that didn't know the content creator TotalBiscuit, he was a YouTuber that I fondly followed, and I will credit that I'm only a YouTuber because of him. I was inspired by his story of when life wasn't going very well for him. He started doing WoW Radio and that type of thing, and that's where everything started. It was the exact same thing for me. Life wasn't going very good for me. I never thought this was going to be a job, but I just used it as a out of to do something. I was doing nothing with my life in between sixth form and university, so I started doing content, and it did better than expected. And here we are today, like 8 or 9 years later, which is crazy. But TotalBiscuit was, for a lot of people at the beginning in season 1, the introduction to League of Legends. Back then, they had a refer a friend program, and TotalBiscuit was the first person to hit 10,000 referrals for people to join the game. And the prize for that, and there was always a big dispute with him and Riot, the prize for that was you could help, I think it was either design a champion at the time or something of that nature. And he stopped playing League before he hit 10,000 referrals. So he wanted to donate it to a charity, like Make-A-Wish Foundation or something like that. He wanted to donate it to allow somebody else to donate to help design something on his behalf. And Riot said no. But as an honor of his early aid to the success of League of Legends, he made a big video, his WTF Is series. Some people, including myself, saw the similarity between this skin and TotalBiscuit's design of the purple top hat. Riot did come out a few years later and said, nope, this wasn't the TotalBiscuit skin. The TotalBiscuit nod is, some people right now, if you've even never heard of the YouTuber, I'm trying to tank the tower, by the way, for Jarvan. I nearly actually end up dying, and he dies anyway. I didn't notice my health. I flashed, do survive. But yeah, some of you were like, Huz, there's TotalBiscuit of Rejuvenation. Yeah, that is the official little nod to TotalBiscuit as a thank you from Riot. But I still look at this skin and kind of see the design ethos, personally. Meanwhile, Lucian, not really sure what he's doing. He literally eased straight into my cage. Zaya getting a nice root. Diana goes to me. I'm W'd by Renata, and what I try to do is get my E up. You saw my E fizzled out. Unfortunately, I pressed it. It was happening, and it fizzled out. I don't really know why it fizzled out, if I'm completely honest. But it did. Meanwhile, Aatrox, he's doing a good job actually getting involved in the game. Obviously, we killed Jax at the beginning of that fight, so that was what I'd call an unofficial ace, which isn't bad. You know, that's still a good situation. The game, by the way, clearly, like the last Veigar game, is actually going really well. We're 7-1-5. The difference, I will say, between last game and this game in mid lane specifically, Corki scales really well. Arguably for Veigar, he can struggle against Corki because Corki's poke damage is really high, like really high. So much so that he probably could kill you if you don't land cage or something like that, if you just simply can't get to him. Meanwhile, we get death cap. I did go a bit of a spicy second build here. 600 AP already with 2 items complete. So this is where, again, if this game went really long, this was easily a 1000 AP game. Meanwhile, making my way over to the Lucian, which again, there is obviously another Lucian in the match. He does flash. I then try to do the same thing that I did to the Corki that time. He does ult me. I'm like, oh, well, this is bad. And I think I just managed to walk away. Again, I am expecting any second to get ganked, and lo and behold, there's the Diana Yuumi. Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I do get ignited, I think, by the Yuumi as well. All I'm trying to do is get a flash off. And by the way, boom, I nearly killed that cat. I should have potentially turned earlier trying to kill her anyway, and that may have happened. But obviously, it's never a bad situation when you're taking 3 people bot lane. What do my team do? Baron. That works for me. Again, it makes my death actually, dare I say, worth. But yeah, we get the Baron, which is always nice. I actually level up from the global Baron experience from the team that kills it. And by the way, which I think I do mention here, this, as you can see, is not a good fight. And then suddenly it becomes a good fight. Why? Xayah. So again, Xayah, pretty strong champ. I do think, again, this Xayah, just for those, that was sick. Lucian is split pushing for some reason. Again, probably a bit tilted. You will see in the outro of this game, the Lucian was not very happy with the Yuumi. Again, I wouldn't be. If I actually mained AD carry, I would probably permanently ban Yuumi. Why? Because it absolutely sucks to be laning bot lane, meanwhile trying to get my blue. And this, by the way, is the moment, everybody. The moment of revenge. There we go. Now we are satisfied. We finally kill him in the pure 1v1. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, sorry. If I was playing AD carry, especially something like Lucian, which, let's be honest, I probably wouldn't play because I like late game scaling champions, I would be tilted out of my mind if my support just completely abandons me relatively still in the early game. Let's be honest, it was still relatively early. I would be tilted. You would, because you can't win lane in a 1v2. That can't happen. And when you're in a Lucian or a Draven or something like that has to do well early, the most tilting thing is when your support is not with you. And a Yuumi who just abandons you for the jungler pretty early on, that's where I would probably permaban that champ. That's the thing. That just, to me, is so annoying. Anyway, doing the dragon, and maybe ending up looking for a pick here, where Renata ultimate, hilariously, she gets a good ulti, and then she went for the Diana, tried to dodge it, and then for some reason the Diana actually went back straight into it, which was kind of funny. Looking for the Lucian if I can do anything. I go for an early ult here, and it actually works really well, which I didn't expect. I went for an early ult, but Aatrox's damage actually happened before mine, so that's where my ultimate actually did do decent damage, because obviously it does more the lower health. Obviously, top lane Jax is split pushing, kind of to be expected at this stage of the game, but when we're doing so well in team fights, it's not too surprising. Give me a second, everybody. I just need to send a message. Sorry about that. I normally try not to do that in the middle of a game, but done. Anyway, that was a really good game of League. We went 8-2-9. So my last 2 games of Veigar, we end up getting fed. And by the way, just to mention, I should have mentioned it earlier. We needed 17 LP to get back into Master Promo from this match. 17, which we do occasionally get. I think in the last commentary I said, like, I'm never fully sure of like how you get LP, and maybe Riot it would be nice if they explain it, but I needed 17 on 83 LP because, again, the guy that AFK'd last game, so we didn't lose as much. So again, we were at 95 LP, we lost 12, not 17 because of the AFK'er, and lo and behold, we gained 16 LP. So I will say, of all days that if Riot could have just thrown me a bone, today would have been that day. It was a little bit tilting. Obviously, I would say I was already a little bit tilted by what's happened already today of losing the Master Promo. But yeah, 99 LP. Now, some people will also make the point is this is technically good for your MMR because you're getting an extra win before you get into Master Promo potentially. But I personally just didn't really care. So we're 99. We need to win one more game, and you'll see that game coming up. And I will say it is a return to Anivia. So as you can see, the the Lucian is angry about the Yuumi, and the Jax only does 6.4 thousand damage as the pure one trick, remember, by the way. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal